think balancing each other's mood swings was really an essential piece of this, and also not underestimating the psychological impact on the whole family. When Peyton was diagnosed, we immediately made the strategic decision, if you will, not to waste any energy or effort trying to research why. I'm not interested in why this happened. I'll let folks that walk around with lab coats and pocket protectors figure that one out. But I want to focus all of our energy on what next. And I think that helped a lot in terms of removing a lot of the chaff and the extra weight. So I'm not interested in it was a shot or whatever, vaccination. None of that matters. We got to focus on the therapy and not underestimate how impactful this is psychologically for the entire family. So I didn't think it was going to be necessary, but I'm not too proud to admit. I mean, I reached out to Natalie quite a bit from a social worker standpoint, and asked a lot of hard questions, and she helped me navigate through some of those emotional issues. And then what I touched on earlier was just trying to achieve a balance. My wife's down, I got to be up. I just got to get up for it. It's one of those things. We can't both be down at the same time. So that's what we aimed for. And like I said, I don't know. I'm not up here trying to pretend like I've got this thing figured out. All I can tell you is it's worked for us so far. So I appreciate the question.
I just wanted to add too that, even to this day, it's still kind of the verbiage in the house. We're a team, we're not against each other. We're a team because everybody has disagreements. And I think also when we found a balance, because navigating the military and the PCS and moving and getting new providers and new insurance and new school districts, it all got either would go rote or it would go very crazily hectic. I'm going to pull my hair out. So we kind of gave each other, we're your strength. So he took care of TRICARE, and I took care of the schools. So that kind of had a balance for us. And then, when it came to actually day-to-day functioning, we helped together. We all helped be with Peyton, help Peyton. Now we have a 2.5-year-old, and it's another team effort. We're still a team, but
yes, in a soundbite, it's just not underestimating the trauma that hits the whole family. Take care of yourself as well as your kiddo. Otherwise, you will wear yourself out.
And I was accused of almost doing that in the very early beginning. People would tell me, like, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to burn yourself out. And then I burnt myself out. So you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your spouse. You got to take care of your kids. And nothing else is really that much important.
Yeah. I wanted to just tag on to that. I know this wasn't in my experience and not your experience, but sometimes you have a spouse who's really resistant to a diagnosis. And I've seen that very often, and it's a large challenge. And I think after meeting couple after couple going through that, I think it's important to acknowledge that he or she has a valid perspective. Your child does come with stigma when you talk about autism. And how do you work through that at their pace, not your pace? Because I was the one that was like, my husband wasn't resistant, but I was on it. And what are we going to do next? I don't care how it happened, but we're going to take care of it. And I think it's important to note that your spouse also has a valid perspective and be sensitive to that. And don't expect them to be where you are because you just spend all day on the phone with the insurer or with the BCBA. Make sure they do have a valid perspective and then engage a professional. You should always have a professional on board that when things go badly or when things go well that you can talk to. And sometimes it's hard to get somebody to go, but maybe you can say, I have a problem. Will you come with me? But I know that's a common problem in the community.
And use respite care.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's out there for you. Take advantage of it.
My wife would probably be in hysterics that I'm answering a relationship question. But I guess
she's not watching.
But I guess I would just echo the comments about taking care of yourselves, and even if it's just 10 minutes out of the day, where you lock yourself in a room, just the two of you, and just acknowledge each other's presence and what they're going through. I think it's going to be really important because I know there have been times in our journey where we didn't take care of ourselves and we just grew apart, and the last thing your child needs is for you two to split up. So take care of that relationship as best you can and just spend some time with each other every day.